Here we are at Detour Village, and we're getting on the ferry to go over to Drummond Island. So we're going to get a little shot of that as we go here, and I'm going to turn you around and look out the window. We got our straps that hold the kayaks down in the way, but kind of get an idea of what's going on. On the boat. It kind of looks like maybe you can't even get out of your car because they got you packed in here pretty tight. You don't want to get out of your car. Okay, we're setting up tent here, and we got that going. Got a nice little campsite here. This is the public park on Drummond Island. And they've got a lot of campground areas here. And we got our truck that you've probably seen before, and got the kayaks up there. So we'll get those in the water tomorrow, and we'll get with you in the morning. And as we get going, we'll get things ready. Appreciate you watching tonight here. It's probably about 5 o'clock. We left this morning at 7, and so we made pretty good time. I've been told that it's 6 o'clock. We still made good time. Alrighty, we'll catch you a little bit later. Okay, here we are at the on-house recording. Huh? Well, it came up with a little sign for a card, like the card wasn't entered or something. But Mike's getting stuff in the kayak here. We've got a little launch right there. This is Drummond Island Marine Resort. And they're going to let us park our car here all week, so pretty nice to us. A little bit of money for that, and we'll catch you when we get on the water. Okay, there's an overview of the marina. One heck of a beautiful sailboat there. So we're basically on our way here. Some houses along the lake here. I imagine there's houses all the way along around the island. In some cases, the island is state-owned land, Drummond Island, which is where we'll be camping and stuff. But there's a lot of private homes and stuff. You know, particularly along the water. Only two ways to get here, one by boat and one across the ferry.
I can't imagine living on this island and not having a boat.
Oh, no, you'd have to have a boat. Definitely.
Just some kind of boat.
Yeah. There's Mike up ahead. We're heading for this island. It's straight ahead. I don't know if you can tell, but we got to go around the north side of that. We're heading basically east right now. Probably a little bit southeast. We go around that island, and then there's another point that we will go around. Off to the left of us here is a bay. We'll swing around that way a little bit. And a bunch of houses over there. I'm sure you probably can't see them, but kind of going right into the sun there. Wind's picking up a little bit, and so are the waves picking up a little bit. Got some seagulls up there. I don't think I told you, but this is Lake Huron, and we're basically right on the northern end of it. And the other side of this island is right next to the Canadian border. Trying to judge the height of these swells. I'm guessing a little bit, but I'm thinking like we got some 2-footers going on. Kind of seems to be going around in circles too, because now I'm heading into them, and then the next minute I'm going sideways on them. Got one coming in sideways and one right in front of me. The water's a little bit shallow here, that's probably why. One thing I will say about Lake Huron, it definitely clear water because I can see the bottom. Probably about 10 feet, maybe 15 feet down, but I can see it. Okay, the waves are getting a little higher. We have to go way out and around the peninsulas because the rocks are so shallow that we have to stay away from the point, which is what we're doing right now. anytime you get into any kind of shallow, it definitely gives you more waves or higher waves. You can't see in towards the shore right now, but lots of whitecaps in there. Got a few whitecaps out here occasionally. I'm definitely guessing we're 2.5 foot, maybe 3 foot waves. You can see Mike up there once in a while. He goes down below a wave. Well, the wind's picked up some more. Getting a little rough out here. I don't know if you can hear me or not because of that wind. Aha! Lots of water. Woo! Woo! Okay, we have found a camp spot and we drug our kayaks in back over here. Mike's working on his, and this is a pretty big campground area. We've got our tent set up over there. Nice little area there. And we figure that the ranger guys probably drive through here to pick up the permit, because we had to have permits for where we camped. And we got a little wet out there, you might imagine, with the waves they were. So we got our clothesline up. We got our chairs ready here. We're gonna fix dinner a little while, and we're just trying to dry a few things out. It's a little bit cloudy, but it's not too bad, and hopefully it's not going to rain or anything. So we're going to settle down, have some dinner a little bit, and maybe do a little relaxing after that paddling out there. Okay, getting some noodles going tonight. Gonna have a little pasta and some sauce. Got a little camp stove there. Makes it quick and easy. Got our chair set up. We made a little table. We actually bought a little table, but maybe we need 2 tables. Okay, we are in a pretty foggy area. Been this way all morning, maybe a little bit worse now for some reason. There's actually a peninsula ahead of us. It's quite a ways from the last point that we were at, and so I got the compass out so we could pretty much get a southeast reading, and we could come out to the point here, which I don't know if you can see it or not, but there actually is a point out there. So we get up closer and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, we should be able to see it now. One of the things that's happened up here, the lake is up water-wise quite a bit, and some of the trees were really close to the edge of the water are pretty much dying because getting too much water. So at the point out here, there's about 6 or so trees that are sticking out, but they're dead because of too much water. A few years ago, Lake Superior was way down as far as water goes. So maybe this year there was an abundance of snow up north, and maybe that's why it's it's a little bit lower or higher, I mean. Seems to me that every peninsula that we go around has a fair amount of rocks sticking out, so we've been going out and around just to make sure we don't get caught on a rock. You can see down in the water so good that even if there's a big rock or something, you can usually see it before you even get to it. But you should be able to see these dead trees now. They're right along the coast there. I got a rock right ahead of me, so I'm going to veer off to the right here to get around that. Okay, so that looks like a giant whale coming up out of the water, but it's a rock. Well, the fog lifted a little bit. Still real cloudy today, but we got a wind behind us right now. It's let's call it a breeze behind us. So that's helping a little bit. We've turned a major corner, and so we're basically heading northeast right now, and eventually we'll be heading north. So that's a turning point. Well, we're still paddling. It's about close to 5 o'clock. You can actually see that most of the fog is gone. Still a little hazy out here, but it sure is a whole lot better than what it was. We're headed towards the campground here, probably about 3 miles away. So we're gonna get there and set up camp. Talk to you later. Okay, we made it to the campground. Unfortunately, we're kind of on an east side, so I can't see a sunset tonight. But got the kayaks here. Mike's getting ready, stuff ready. We just had dinner. We got our tent set up. This is all sandy area, and we got our little food area over there. And just had dinner, so we're all set with that, and start getting our stuff together for later tonight. So get you an idea what this looks like. It's pretty out there today. Campsite actually could have another 2 people over here on the other side. There's plenty of room over there. And then there's a trail that leads up the way here, and it goes up to a I think it's a dirt road, so people can actually get semi close to this. Alrighty, there's a little pond right there, a little tiny pond. I don't know why exactly that's there, but it's there. So all right. It's kind of neat through there. Let's go over here and see. Yeah, pretty view out there. Okay, this is day 3. We got a hell of a sunrise over there. Really nice. It was really pretty earlier, and I didn't have my GoPro ready, but I did get a picture off my phone, so maybe we can add that in somehow. So we're out, we have to pump, and Mike is doing that right now, and he's pumping away. He's got his little bottle. He puts a little powder Gatorade in there, and then we got the big bottles that we fill up for using for food and cooking and all that kind of stuff. That's on straight. Huh? Make sure it doesn't leak.
It's not leaking.
Okay. Just the plate wasn't on straight. Alright, you got that? There's the bottle.
Here, let me hold it while you get the lid off. One hand. Got it? Yep.
Alright. We have 48 inch, or 48 inch, yeah. How about 48 ounce bottles? We have 2 of those.
Algene bottles, that is.
And what we do is that actually screws right to the pump, and that is a Caden,
which currently is leaking.
It's leaking.
Out the top.
Oh, well, we need a
gasket.
New gasket. I might have a new gasket. I'll look and see. Or Vaseline will work around there, keep it from leaking too. I think it's a rubber gasket in there. We've used it on quite a few trips, so it's probably time for a little maintenance. So anyway, we're going to head in that direction up there. Basically pretty much north. It's maybe a little bit northwest. We come to a point up there, and then we're gonna pretty much head west. So today's paddle should be somewhere between 13 and 15 miles from what I could figure. So anyway, that's what we're doing. And hopefully today we can catch up with you a little bit more, because yesterday the fog was so bad that you could hardly see anything. You can see the landscape along everywhere is
Day two.
pretty much the same, and
Right in front of me.
the
And then off in the
Mike's
distance,
paddling up
there are
way here, and we got you know, just awesome water this morning. It's all flat and no wind hardly at all. Got a little tiny bit of a breeze. The breeze gives us that ripples on the water that you can see, and just probably what I'd call a perfect morning. Mike's taking off up there, and I guess I better get going here. This little cove, we seem to have a pretty good current in here. The kayak is actually not particularly going straight. Got my rudder down and everything, and it's doing a little bit better now, but when I was out there in the middle, it was almost, the rear end was kind of, you know, coming around to the left side, and you could see it in the bow where the water was coming off more on one side than the other, so the current was kind of pushing me around a little bit there. Really, I don't think on a lake I've never had that happen. But we were told that there's a lot of current up here, and that's why they told us to start and go south all the way east before we turn north, and then we go back west, because the current travels east, and we definitely noticed that several times, that it felt like it was making us go faster. Every once in a while along here, we see some actual shale rock that is, you know, kind of out from the shore. Most of the rock that seems to be around the shoreline is actually some kind of shale rock, but this is actually jetting out from the land, and it's just, you know, all solid flat rock, and I think it breaks off in you know, like pieces as it goes. I'm probably 15 feet away, and I'm in deep water, and of course that goes pretty much straight down into the water. Kind of interesting to see. On down the way, once we get down there, there's a whole huge area of this kind of stuff, but it was interesting to see that it was up here. It's not marked on the map as far as the shale goes, but this is Reynolds Point, I think. My map's hard to read. Yeah, Reynolds Point. And there's a little bay called Reynolds Bay around the corner here. But, you don't see this kind of rock and this kind of thing, you know, very often. I'm not really sure I've seen this kind of flat rock before. So obviously it's something unusual. But it's amazingly deep here. I mean, it's got to be 20 feet at least, I think. Now there's a piece that's up on top of the flat area, and you know that it had to be a storm or something that lifted that up there. That's unbelievable. Another piece over here. Pretty amazing stuff. what you see along most of the shoreline. There is some times you'll see some sandy beach type stuff, but this is pretty much the standard. It's a small rock, like a pebble, and it's smoothed off. Now, you do see some shale here, but you know, that's not the main part of what you're going to see. You try to step out on this stuff. We tried to step out yesterday, and it was very difficult because it just, you know, when you step on it, it's so loose that it just pushes down, kind of like you're in sand, really, or even worse than sand because you go deeper. Must have been one big storm coming by here, because that's knocked over some pretty big trees there. We stopped along the shoreline here and looked up behind all this gravel that has transpired. And this is like a fantasy world up in here. It's got a big old cliff there. Trees growing out of the cliff. Big old tree right up there, growing right on the edge of that cliff. That tree's probably a foot to a foot and a half round, and the cliff just keeps going all the way down. Really kind of interesting. It's amazing. A lot of it looks like it probably has caved in, because under all this moss is just rocks. Anyway, I thought it'd be interesting to see that. Okay, I climbed up the hill. Now I got to figure out a way down here without falling on this slippery moss. Anyway, it's pretty cool through there. Oh. And we can get out through those trees. Now you kind of slide down these rocks because they're all loose. Got our kayaks here. Kind of see the shoreline. We came into an area that's the shallowest as far as the rocks go. On down that way, it gets much higher down there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but way out there is a island, but that's in Canada. Okay, we came around the point, and basically we headed north for a little bit, and now we're heading northwest. Probably a little more west than north. And a little bay off to the left here. Kind of a pretty little bay. I bet a lot of times it's not too windy back there. But once we came around this way, why the wind really picked up. I'm sure you probably hear a little bit of the wind in the in the camera here. You can see that point way off in the distance. That's what we're headed for. There's actually like 3 little bays here. The one I just showed you, and then once we go around this point over here to the left, like, there's another bay back in there. We're pretty much headed right into that wind. Might be the wind might be coming just a little bit more north than what direction we're going, but it's pretty good. It's not causing too much waves though. I don't even think they're probably a foot high, so that's not too bad at this point. Well, if you can hear me, yeah, the wind is picking up, and waves are getting a little bit more, probably a foot high. We just got to get to that point way off in the distance. It's kind of gusty. Sometimes it kind of slows down a little bit, and then all of a sudden you see a lot of more ripples on the water, and once you see that, you know there's going to be, you know, more of a gusty wind. So there's a little bit of area back there we cleaned out. There was a bunch of trees in the way. And we cleaned that out enough that you could walk through there, but there's nothing back there, so there's no flat spot anywhere. And this isn't really flat. It's got a bunch of rocks underneath our tent here. You can see the rocks on the ground over there. There's a rock right there by the tent, and so it's pretty much a you can see the disaster area over here. Somebody left a whole bunch of crap over here. There's a bunch of foam stuff over there, and this is by far disgusting. But it was the only place that we could stay, so we had no choice at this point. Okay, we just got on the water, and we are, you know, on our way. We're going about southwest for this morning, and we'll be heading around to the south and then back north to get to the marina. So just about a 13-mile paddle, and we'll keep you abreast of what's going on. If anything exciting happens, why, we'll get back to you. Okay, so we're still paddling, and the wind has picked up substantially, so you can tell that the waves are picking up. I suspect that they'll get higher. We got about 12 miles at least. Here we are back at Drummond Island. I just came in with the kayaks. We're starting to get the stuff off the kayaks and into the back of the truck, and then we're going to load them up on top. And this is the marina that we were at here. You probably saw that on the beginning. So we got back, this is the 4th day, and it's later in the afternoon. So appreciate you watching. Thanks so much. Be sure to subscribe, and also hit that thumbs up button. That would help a lot too. Hey, appreciate everything you do, and hope you like the video. Drummond Island may be up for you.